Number one is a little bit different. We didn't see anything like this today. We're just going to work backwards. So you're really going to try and think about what we need to know in order to write an equation. So your notes today were all about slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b, where m is your slope and b is your y-intercept. I'm given a graph and I need to write an equation for it. Okay, so that means we're always going to have our y, we're always going to have our x. We just need to figure out what the slope is, and we need to figure out what the y-intercept is. If I'm looking at the graph, easiest place to start is to figure out where is your y-intercept. So where is this graph crossing the y-axis? I have this coordinate point here at 0, 1. So that means my b value, or my y-intercept, is 1. Since it's positive 1, then we're going to say plus 1. Now we have to figure out our slope. So you can pick any other point on that graph. I'm going to pick this one because it seems easy to count. I don't know why it just froze like this. So then when I go ahead and find the slope, if you're looking at a graph, you want to count m equals your vertical change down 1 over 1, 2, 3. So my slope is negative 1/3. So to clean it up, because I don't like those lines, I get negative 1/3 x plus 1. Same thing over here. Find your y-intercept. Here's my coordinate point, 0, negative 1, and then count the slope. So b equals negative 1, m equals up 1 over 1, 2, 3, 4. So y equals m x plus b, but if it's a negative number, then we're just subtracting. And the last one, I have a horizontal line again. We want to be familiar with understanding that anytime it's a horizontal line, your slope is 0. What's my y-intercept here? I have 1, 2, 3, 4. So my equation would be y equals 0x plus 4. But again, we don't like to keep that 0, and we should be familiar with a horizontal line is always of the form y equals, because in order to remain a constant horizontal change, you have to be stuck at that same y value forever. Question number 2, write an equation for a line that is passing through the point 1, 2 and has a y-intercept of, oh, that's cut off. Let's see, I don't know why that's cut off. Now I'm just noticing it. Let me see if I can read what I have. I don't know why that didn't cut off. So let's do 1, 2, let's do a y-intercept of 3. Okay. So I have a y-intercept of 3. So that means I can plot that point. I have 1, 2, 3. I have a coordinate point 1, 2. So we can plot that up 1 over 1, 2. So now I'm going to go ahead and draw my graph. And now I can do basically what I just did in question number 1. I need to know the b value. Your b value is your y-intercept. In this case, oh, look, I did that wrong. I said 3 and I marked 2. 1, 2, 3. And then I have over 1 up 2. Sorry. My b value is 3. Crosses the y-axis at 3. I want to then find the slope. Again, between 2 points, vertical change is negative 1. Horizontal change is 1. Turns into negative 1. So then I get y equals mx plus b. A rental company charges $8 per hour for a mountain bike, plus a $5 fee for a helmet. Write an equation in slope-intercept form for the total rental cost C. So I have C equaling, and a bike for T hours. So you have a $5 fee plus an $8 fee per hour. So there's my equation. I'm going to graph it. Here's my b value. So I'm going to start my graph at 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My slope is 8. So I have a vertical change of 8. And I can see in my graph that I'm not going to be able to fit enough spaces. So if I'm positive 8, I can move up and right, or I can move down and left because two negative directions make a positive direction. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then over 1. What would the cost for 2 helmets and 2 bicycles for 8 hours? Okay. So I have to kind of think about what's going on here. I have that the cost is equal to a $5 fee for 1 helmet plus, I don't know why my key's not crossed here, $8 per hour for a mountain bike. So I'm doing 2 bikes. So I'm going to kind of have 2 scenarios. Cost for the first bike, cost for the second bike. 2 helmets, $5 a helmet plus 8 times 8. And I'm just going to calculate it again. You're going to notice it's the same thing. So over here, we have 64 plus 5, $69. 64 plus 5, $69. So your total cost, $69 per bike times 2 bikes is $138. Number 4 says write an equation of a horizontal line that crosses the y-axis at -5. So y equals mx plus b. If we're horizontal, it means my x term always cancels out because my slope is always 0. So if my slope is 0 here, that's going to completely go away, and I just have y equal to whatever my y-intercept is. This is my y-intercept, right, because x is 0. So y equals -5. And the last one, oh my God, okay, sorry. Write an equation for a line passing through the points 4, 5. It has a y-intercept of -3. So when we come back tomorrow, we're going to go through how to write these equations just algebraically. So I'm going to push you to try to see if you can do it without graphing. However, I'm going through it, the graphing method. I am curious to see if anybody can maybe figure out how to do it. So to give you a hint, start with your basic equation. What is missing and what do you need to know? I'm going to go through it by just graphing. So my y-intercept is -3. So I'm going to go 1,